Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Shri Matre Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. We continue with our discussion on Dakshinamurthy Stotram, and the context here is enlightenment. So far, we have understood clearly that one has to move or rise beyond the waking, dreaming and sleeping states to the unity consciousness to be able to live a life in enlightenment the way Dakshinamurthy is teaching his disciples. Before I go further, I want to see if I can shed some clarity on this word Maya. Maya seems to be a difficult word for me also to describe. Here in Dakshinamurthy Stotram, I think it is mentioned in at least 3 verses. Let us go over them. Here is the first verse where it is mentioned, Visvam Tarpana Drusyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantargatam Pasyanmatmani Mayaya Bahirvodbhutam Yadhanitraya Yas Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swatmaname Vadyayam Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. So here Shankaracharya is stating the fact that because of this Maya, the whole of the universe, the whole of everything that is existing and manifest is seen like a reflection as in a mirror. And although this manifest universe is within him or within this Atma, because of this Maya, it appears as if it is outside. And when one wakes up to the reality of his own self, that is, when one gains the self-realization, then one arrives at the truth that this universe is not outside and within the Atma or the Self. So let us look at the other verses too where this Maya is mentioned, and then I will see how we can gain a little bit more clarity of this term. Next verse. Bijasvantati vankuro jagaditam pragnirvikalpam punaha maya kalpita desakala kalana vaichitra chitrikrutam maya viva vijrumbhayatvapi mahayogiva yasvechaya tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. Here, what is being said is that inside the seed there is this germ or the sapling which becomes the sapling, and when it manifests, it looks different. Just like an artist, when he is trying to create a picture, and he creates the manifestation of different forms and places and different time. And this picture has so many layers and layers of this presentation. In the same way, because of this Maya, this variety and this multiplicity appears like real, although it is the illusion. Next, where we see this Maya is Deham pranamapindrayanyapi chalam buddhincha sunyam viduhu stri balandha jadopamasstva hamiti Bhrantabrusam vadinaha Maya Shakti Vilasa Kalpita Mahavyamoha Samharine Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. So here what is trying to be conveyed is, because of this Maya, because of this veil of ignorance, one thinks that the body, the intellect, the concept of emptiness or nothingness, all is what they are and not the true self. So again, it is only he who can destroy this veil of ignorance and wake up one from this state of illusion or Maya. Now the next verse where we also see this word Maya is Rahugrasta Divakarendu Sadrisho Maya Samachadanat Sanmatra Karanopas Samharano Toyau Bhutsa Shukta Puman Pragasvapsamiti Prabodha Samaye Yak Pratyabhignayate Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. So here again, because of this veil of Maya or the veil of illusion, the self is masked, just like when the sun is masked by Rahu, and once the eclipse is done, then the sun shines just like ever. Similarly, because of this Maya, the self is covered and one does not know one's true self. But when one wakes up to this reality, then one realizes that one has been in a state of deep sleep, and now he is not under the influence of this Maya. Now the next verse again, where we see this word Maya. Vishvam pasyati karya karanataya swaswami sambandataha Sishyacharya tadhaiva pitru putra atyatmana bhedataha Swapne jagrati vaya esha purusho Maya paribhramitaha Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. So here again, because of this Maya and the confusion created by this Maya, one sees only the differences between oneself and the Paramatma. One sees the differences between the teacher and the student, differences between the father and son. And because of this Maya, one believes in these differences as being real. And these differences are felt in the waking, dreaming states of consciousness. And it is only by transcending this Maya one realizes the truth that one is the self beyond all the differences. And so here we see Bhagavan Dakshinamurthy, who is dispelling this Maya, who is removing this veil of ignorance, and who is revealing the self to the disciple or the Sishya. He is helping his Sishyas to examine the truth behind these differences, behind this multiplicity and the duality, behind this illusion caused by the Maya, and arrive at the truth by their own experience that all of this multiplicity, the diversity, the duality, and the various differences are all nothing other than the self, the oneness of the self alone, and none other than the Brahman, the non-dual Advaita. Now let us take a look at this, what this Maya is. In the Vedanta, Maya itself does not stand for illusion. Many times, many people say it is the illusion, but actually here the actual meaning is it is the cause of illusion. It is not the illusion, but it is the cause of illusion. Here, Maya is the mysterious and inscrutable Shakti of Bhagavan through which he manifests this world order. So here we understand that Adi Shakti, who has been attributed with the feminine personality, is often referred to as Maya Devi or Mahamaya or Maya Shakti. So again, it's important to understand Maya does not mean illusion. Otherwise, nobody would give that name to someone, to their daughter or granddaughter, Maya, Mayavati, Maya Devi, etc., if it is meant to be illusion. Here, Maya Shakti is described as twofold in its expression. The first is Upadana Maya or Guna Maya. So this Upadana Maya acts as the material cause of this physical world. And it is with this Maya that the whole of the manifest world happens and it seems real. And the second one, the Nimitta Maya, is concerned with the individual Jiva and has the twofold function of either deluding a Jiva by obscuring the pure consciousness or leading to Mukti, which is liberation. So here again, this Nimitta Maya is described as Avidya and Vidya. It has both the elements in it. In ignorance, it leads to samsara, and when one gains the knowledge, it leads to mukti. So in the state of this avidya, the ignorance, then two aspects are again seen. One is avarana and the other is vikshepa. So here avarana is concealing the true nature of Atma, and this is what we say is the veil of ignorance. And here the word vikshepa says it creates deflection of this consciousness and it appears as multiple. So what we understand here is that within this Nimitta Maya there is both avidya as well as the vidya. So our concern here is this Nimitta Maya and how to go beyond this avidya or the ignorance. Because this avidya is what leads to samsara and keeps one bound in this samsara forever. Now with the Upadana Maya, which is the material cause of the world, there is nothing we can do about it. So our main concern is this Nimitta Maya, which is creating this avarana, concealing the true nature of the Atma. So here again, Maya denotes limitation, and due to its influence, an individual Atma gets associated with physical and the subtle aspects of the manifestation, resulting in bondage. So here most of the bondage is seen with these physical and subtle bodies and other objects and relationships also. So now we also understand that Maya is the principle responsible for the manifestation and diversity of the material world. The word Maya is derived from the root Ma, which means to create or produce, and this is why we say Adi Shakti, the creative Shakti of Bhagavan, is Maya. And again, in Bhagavad Gita, we understand that because of this Maya, the living beings are deluded, because this veil of Maya covers the truth. It makes us wrongly believe that our true identity is merely this physical body, and produces cognition of the material world that keeps us trapped in samsara, birth after birth. Now it is also said that Maya has the ultimate purpose of bringing a bound jiva back to the source, which is the Paramatma. Since our consciousness or our Purogamanam is from Paramatma to Paramatma, the transcendental eternal consciousness to transcendental consciousness, so Maya has this ultimate purpose of bringing back this bound jiva back into this oneness of Paramatma. So here this Mahamaya or Maya Shakti impels a jiva to activity by creating diverse sense objects and also a desire for them. So then this jiva, who is in the pursuit of all these desires, fulfilling these desires through the senses and through the body, and at the same time when one gains the grace of Bhagavan, then one realizes the transient nature of these material pursuits and finally turns towards divinity for eternal happiness and attains mukti. So we have to say it is this infinite compassion of this Maya Shakti or Mahamaya to take this bound jiva or the individual soul to finally bring this soul back to home, which is Paramatma, the self of all. Here one more important aspect to understand is Maya cannot understand itself. So you cannot try to reason out with Maya. Maya's functioning is clear. One aspect is to conceal the truth, and the second is to project something false in the place of the truth. Again, one aspect is to conceal the truth, and the second is to project something false in the place of truth. But we understand also this Mahamaya is the wondrous Shakti of Bhagavan, Shiva, and hence absolutely real. So in this tradition, we only pray to Maya Shakti to take us beyond this Maya and to remove this veil of Maya. And the rishis have taught us how to transcend this Maya and how to become free from this Maya. So next, I will also try to clarify this word devotion. So again, devotion, the actual word is bhakti, and the translation is devotion. And the word devotion again is not anything close to bhakti, because devotion can be used, it can convey to many members. Like, one can say one is devoted to a family member, or devoted to a business, or devoted to a job. But then the word bhakti is used specifically for Bhagavan. And the whole purpose of the bhakti yoga is to attain the supreme goal of having this unbounded prema for Bhagavan, which is beyond self-interest, self-centeredness. And in this unbounded prema, one develops a divine communion with Bhagavan. This is what is referred to as bhakti and bhakti yoga in Vedanta. So it is the supreme goal of human life to attain this prema for Bhagavan. Prema means unconditional love, unbounded love. And here I would like to also clarify one more word, which we say as faith. Faith is referred to as Shraddha or Vishwas. And again, faith is not an equivalent word to Shraddha, because in the empirical language, the faith could refer to confidence or trust in another person or entity, and it may not necessarily be due to any reverential feelings. But whereas the Sanskrit word Shraddha is associated with feelings of awe and reverence towards its object, and it is used mainly in the context of Bhagavan, having this utmost reverence. In this context, again, in terms of Guru and Dakshinamurthy, in order to attain this grace and attain the full support of the Guru and Bhagavan, which we call it the nature support or the Almighty nature support, then it is very important for us to make sure that we are deserving. We rise to the status where we deserve, by expressing our devotion, our Shraddha and our Bhakti, and also making use of all the aspects of our life in terms of mental, physical and spiritual. So here it's important to understand that we gain the support of the different aspects of our own individual life. That means our mental faculties and abilities, our physical strength and purity in our physiology and nervous system, and our true dedication in our desire to know the self. Then we automatically become deserving and gain the support of the Almighty nature. So, if one has brought out himself fully in terms of gaining this enlightenment, then this great force of this Almighty nature is there to support fully. And this full support comes when we have contact with our own being when we experience the self of who we are. So this is the direct contact on this transcendental level. Now let me touch a few words on this devotion, and particularly devotion to the Master, because here we see Dakshinamurthy sitting there as the Master of all the Guru of all the Gurus. So here we understand that Brahma Vidya can be imparted only to those who are at least willing to receive it with great reverence, with great Shraddha and Bhakti. So here their willingness is judged by their readiness to receive, and this in turn by their one-pointed attention in faithful devotion to the Master or the Guru. So when one has this Shraddha or this invincible faith, this makes the student a good assimilator of knowledge. And devotion or bhakti sets him free from resistance and at the same time influences the heart of the Master, from where this great spring of knowledge is pouring forth. In addition, this bhakti or devotion on the part of the disciple creates affection in the heart of the Guru. For example, when a calf approaches its mother, the milk begins to flow from her udder, ready for the calf to drink without any effort. And such is the glory of devotion and faith in a disciple. And for this, what does one have to do? This disciple or Shishya surrenders at the feet of the Guru and cuts short the long path of evolution. And this is stated actually in Bhagavad Gita, where Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjuna that by surrendering, he cuts short the long path of evolution and gains enlightenment in this one life. And here one has to understand that the devotion becomes automatic when one is practicing transcendental meditation. Because here the mind grows and the heart grows. So when the mind and the heart both are growing, then the capacity of devotion also is growing. And this devotion becomes unbounded, unlimited, and it only in this unboundedness and limitlessness one is able to give this utmost devotion to Bhagavan. So again, as the consciousness grows, so more and more devotion naturally happens, and this is because of the expansion in the capacity of the heart and mind. And this expansion becomes unlimited when we transcend, and especially when one is experiencing the self. And so here in this devotion, then there is love, attachment and reverence to the Guru or God. Again, there is more and more love, attachment and reverence to God and Guru in this pure devotion or bhakti. When I was going through the existence of God consciousness, which I think remained for about 2 years or so. So again, this is not on the experience level, this was on the existence level. I was in God consciousness for that long period. Then I found that I was so attached to my God and Guru, and I was wondering how did this bondage, this attachment come to me? And it was only after some thinking I realized that all the other attachments have gone and this attachment to the Guru and God remained. And then, by the grace of this Guru and God alone, in unity consciousness, this attachment to the Guru and God also leaves, and one is totally free. So, in this eternal freedom, then one adores and reveres the God and Guru, but without any attachment or bondage. So here again Maharshi says that if one wants to be a devotee of God, one has to become his pure self. He has to free himself from those attributes which do not belong to him. And then only can he have one-pointed devotion. Again, if he is enveloped by what he is not, then his devotion will be covered by that foreign element, and his devotion will not reach God, and the love and blessings of God will not reach him. So here again, devotion is a more sophisticated quality of love, and here this sophisticated love is very unifying, and so also is the devotion here, which is also unifying the Guru and the Sishya and Bhagavan and the disciple or the devotee. And it is not only unifying, but it is also elevating. It is taking you to the status of the divinity, elevating you to that status of this divinity in that process of unification. And finally, one has to understand that devotion cannot be practiced as such. This devotion is something that you have grown into. It is a part of this display of this purified life. And here, the appreciation of the creation and creator is so overwhelming. And this appreciation of the creator and his creation is seen in the most minute details in a pure devotee. And here, this devotion in this bhakti is very innocent and very pure. And every thought and every perception and every act is seen as the grace of the Divine Mother, Jagannatha, or the glory of Shiva, or your favorite god. This deep devotion to the Almighty and to the Guru then spills into the relative life, where you feel this tender love and devotion with other people. For example, there is the mother and the child, and there is the impulse of this tender love and devotion between this mother and child, or for example in any other relationships. You see this pure devotion and love flowing through this expanded heart and mind. Now, the reason why I am trying to say all of this is I want you all to understand and try to think within yourself, how did these Sishyas sit in front of Dakshinamurthy and surrendered to him and allowed him to give all this Brahma Vidya in that silence. And what is it that they had to do in order to deserve it? And what did Dakshinamurthy do? Now here is the disciple like a drop in the ocean, and Dakshinamurthy there is sitting there like the almighty ocean. And here the mighty ocean is coming to meet the drop. It is not the drop which is going to the ocean, but it is the mighty ocean coming to the drop and drowning the drop with this Brahmavidya, drowning the drop with this great knowledge and the knowledge of the pure self, and giving that enlightenment in this one life. And so this is the thought I would want you to carry in your mind today. I thought I'll finish the whole talk on Dakshinamurthy today, but it looks like it's not going to, it might take another session. So here I will end and we'll continue tomorrow. Jai Gurudev, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.